I'm the producer and the YouTube strategy guy for the Noelle Randall YouTube channel. And in the last few months, we've taken the channel from 16,000 subscribers to over 200,000 subscribers. And in this episode, both Noelle and I are going to tell you how we did it. I've been producing Noelle's channel for a year now, and we just recorded an interview together. The first question I asked Noelle was what the journey has been like for her.
I can honestly say I have absolutely loved it. It has exceeded all of my expectations. So obviously I came into the YouTube game and actually was a little bit late to it. People were telling me for years that I should be on YouTube, but quite frankly, I was intimidated by it. And I think I kind of shucked YouTube off as something that was not serious and a serious business type of thing. And I can honestly say, boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, what changed your mind? What changed your mind about that?
So I didn't really, I kind of got into it. So I was already doing YouTube when I found you, but I was doing it on a smaller level, much smaller level with a local guy.
Okay, to give you a little context here, Noelle had been working for a couple of years to build her YouTube channel. She had grown it to 6,500 subscribers. Then she hired me to produce her channel. We filmed 20 episodes in a single day, and then we started launching 5 episodes a week, starting on January 21st of 2020.
If I have to say what the best thing has been about you working with, Be The Hero Studios is the process and the system that you created. It was almost like, I use the analogy, Bill Belichick and the Patriots. It's just a winning system. It was one that if you have the right talent, you really can just excel in. And so when it was making the 20 videos at a time and batch recording them, that's step 1. And then 2, the formatting of the videos. So there's 3 key things. Obviously, batch recording the 20 videos was phenomenal because I could just get a month's worth of work done in a day. And obviously I'm a busy entrepreneur, so that fit into me really well in what I have going on. The second thing was the content and the format of it. Obviously, as I'm not a content creator, I'm a business person, so I didn't know what I should be doing on YouTube and how to create the videos in a concise way. And then finally, the keyword research. I couldn't necessarily think of things that I should be talking about each time, and so making 4 videos, that was just me kind of thinking about what people were asking me. Like I said, I didn't have a process. I thought about what students were asking me. I thought about questions people had asked me, and then I made videos around that. But with your keyword research, it literally gave me my content. It told me what I should be writing about in a very concise way. So those 3 things in combination has made it like the easiest thing and probably why I feel like I've been successful at it.
Now, prior to working with Noelle, I had a great track record of success on many channels. In fact, every channel seemed to follow a very similar pattern. The first 4 months are extremely boring. So you see right here, this is the Chris Crone channel. Once we started implementing all 5 ingredients on my strategy, this is the first 4 months. And it looks pretty boring, pretty flat. I mean, you start to see a little bit of growth into August there of 17. And then, boom, we had a spike. We had over 10,000 views in a single day. And that was just the beginning. If we fast forward a few more weeks, that was that first spike. And so the spikes that followed, 35,000 views in a single day. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's take a look at Paul Jenkins, Live on Purpose TV. This is what his first 4 months looked like. Okay, so we had a spike that actually came about a week early, a week before that 4-month mark. And then we fast forward a few more weeks and that was that first spike. It actually looks just like a little hill now because the spikes we had after that were much bigger. On the John Crestani channel, here's what his first 4 months looked like. He kind of had a couple hills on the way there, and then we had a spike at that 4-month mark. Kirk Duncan, 3 Key Elements. This is what his first 4 months look like. And then finally with Noelle Randall, this is what her first 4 months look like. Okay, between these 2 red arrows, this is when we started launching my strategy again. So January 21st of the year 2020, that's when we officially launched my strategy, all 5 ingredients. And the second arrow is that 4-month mark. Now the crazy thing is, we didn't have a spike right then. But now that you look back at history, you can see that week after week, each hill represents a week because she gets more views on weekdays, so you can actually kind of see week after week. We kept getting higher and higher. And when we didn't have a spike, I gave it more time, but I noticed, wow, we crossed 2,000 views in a day. And then just a couple weeks later, wow, we crossed 3,000, wow, we crossed 4, wow, we crossed 5. And so by the end of July, Noelle and I were having a conversation about this, saying, we're in a pretty good place. We didn't have the spike like we expected, but we've seen amazing growth. There was a definite pivot point right at that 4-month mark. But then the crazy thing is just a few days later, right after this conversation, we hit August, and then boom, we had a spike. So what I'm circling there is that 5,000 views in a day, but we went up to 20,000 views in a day. All right, now this screenshot is a little old, so I'm actually gonna log into the channel and just show you where her channel is at today. Okay, so as you can see, her channel as of my recording today is 204,000 subscribers on the channel. We're adding 1,000 or 2,000 new subscribers every single day. So by the time you watch this, who knows where it'll be. And just let me show you what that graph looks like. So this is showing the last 365 days. So again, January 21st is when we launched the channel. 4 months in is when we had that pivot. We started to see more and more growth. And then as we got to August, boom, we had over 20,000 views in a single day. And you'll see that that never settled down. In fact, today we're averaging around 65 or 75,000 views every single day. By the 4-month mark, sometimes we start to see spikes at that point. And on your channel, we didn't see a spike, but week after week from that point on, we were seeing consistent growth. It was like each week was higher and higher. And by the end of July, we had surpassed 5,000 views in a single day. What were you thinking at that point?
So I was honestly excited before that. So it's funny because when we came into it, you mentioned and taught me about the spike. And so I was anticipating this 4-month spike. But as soon as I started with you guys, like literally the first month, I saw results because I had the clear call to action. So going back to, again, the formatting of how I was making the videos with the, the introduction and then the content hooks and, and explaining to me why I was making the video the way I was making it, my call to actions were very clear and I was immediately getting results in my business from day one because now I had a clear call to action pushing people into my funnel. So before even the spike, before any of that, I had a lift in my business.
Lead generation was always the focus of the strategy, and it just kept getting better and better. Noelle's channel wasn't generating any leads at first. Then just a couple months into our strategy, she started to generate leads, and she was really happy with the results. Then by the end of July, we got up to that 5,000 view day, and she was ecstatic about the number of leads and revenue her channel was generating. And then adding to that excitement, we jumped up to 20,000 views in a single day. The leads went through the roof. The ad revenue went through the roof as well. When we got up to that point where we had 5,000 views in a day, were you getting more leads at that point?
Yes, it's to the point literally we have a 4-month waiting period for one of my funnels. So one of my funnels...
Well, yeah, the last 2 months we've been averaging 20,000 views a day.
Yes.
Which is huge. And so a 4-month list, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is. It really is. It's to the point I've hired more people. I'm trying to train more people. The business has exploded. Like I said, and I'm almost giddy like at how well this has worked out for me. So yes, the spikes in the beginning were immediate and the consistent growth where I can consistently see the leads coming into my funnel and transform those leads into actual profits. So that's one. And then seeing the growth, just growth over growth over growth, and just being able to grow my business and hire people and grow that segment of my business. Like I said, I have several businesses, but growing that segment of the business has moved faster than any other business that I've created and tried to grow.
Now, the video that first spiked was the one of how to get business credit when you have poor personal credit. Were you kind of shocked that that's the video that first took off?
Yes, very much so. Like because in all honesty, so like I said, with the keywords and trying to create videos based on things that people are searching for, with your methodology, I took to it. You said, don't go after the high search results, start gobbling up all of the smaller ones. So the ones that only have, 10 or 20 searches. I had no idea which video was going to spike. And I was super surprised that it was that one because I didn't do anything different. I don't recall anything special about that video.
Yeah, and it always is. It is surprising, and I'm glad that it happened that way. I mean, obviously, since that one took off, we've done several more on that same topic to really keep the spike going. But the other thing that I love is all the other videos on the real estate or other business topics, they've all gotten a boost because of the spikes. So it's been neat to see that. The other thing that I'm excited to hear your feedback on is ad revenue, because ad revenue is never a primary, maybe even never a secondary goal, but yet we've gotten to a point where it's more than surpassed, you know, the production costs of the channel. What are your feelings about ad revenue now?
So super excited. So it's funny because I do remember in the beginning you talked about, you know, some of the other successful people that you had worked with and some of their revenues. And so to see the ad revenue at such a high amount so fast, you know, I again, super shocked, super floored, and it actually makes powering through making all the videos a lot easier.
For me, it's been such an honor to work with you on this project. You're a really coachable client. You know, I'm so detail-oriented and so systems-oriented, and I've created these processes.
I think, like you said, I'm coachable, and I always try to be coachable, but I bought in very early. I kind of understood what you were saying. So I think that's probably, you know, one of the to my credit, I did understand what you were saying, and I knew that there was a better way. You know, I was almost like, I knew there was a better way to do it. I knew I wasn't quite doing it right. So when you explained it to me and you outlined the system and how it worked and why it worked, I was like, oh, I get it. Try to do it. And yeah, I was not great in the beginning. I watched some of the first sets of videos we make and I cringe still at, you know, how awkward I was with some of it and trying to get your system. But I did. I really tried to study what you were saying, understand, and really do it to the way that you said it had been done, because I felt like I was trying to model someone else's success. And that has always been my process. If someone else is doing something right, I just do what they do. I don't even consider myself that smart.
Noelle certainly is smart. In fact, she's the most coachable client I have. Would you like to know where her channel is now? We're over 200,000 subscribers. Last month had 31,000 in ad revenue, and my estimate for this month is 40,000. And the most important, most exciting thing is her channel is generating 4,000 leads per month. That's a lot. She's scaling up. She currently has a 2.5-month waiting list. If you'd like to know what it looks like to work with me and have us produce your YouTube channel, I invite you to click the link below and to schedule a call and to make sure it's a great fit for your business. I'd love to help you become the next YouTube hero. And if you haven't learned my strategy yet, I definitely invite you to watch this video next. It's how to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in a day. I share my entire strategy there.